Hey guys, thanks for coming to hang out here on the sessions. A friendly reminder that you can hang out with me in more than one place because I'm also on AMP. Just download the app, come hang out with us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Just get a little more sessions in your life. We all need it. All right. I'm so pumped to have you on today. You and I have been talking for some time about getting your ass here on the sessions. Guys, I am joined by Samuray del Sol, Manny, formerly known as Kalisto.
Lucha.
How
I know, right?
lucha,
Yeah.
lucha, lucha.
I still
How are
do it.
you
It's fun.
doing?
Good, good. I'm I'm grateful, super grateful. I wake up every morning and just super grateful seeing the sun and the air and everything. I'm just everything what I've been through, which I would love to tell you.
I would
I
love to delve into that stuff.
I'm super grateful.
You and I
Um,
had been
yeah,
talking about everything that you went through. I guess
yeah.
kind of just as you got on the other side of it, or you were starting to get healthy and started to talk about what
Yeah.
all went down. We've obviously spent time during the duration of this podcast existed during COVID. That was
Mhm,
kind of the heartbeat of, I think, a lot of people starting podcasts. But
mhm.
anyways, during that time, everyone's getting sick. Some people worse than others, and of course, you were one of those people. Talk to me
Yeah.
about what went down because it's crazy.
Well, it was very, very unexpected. I don't know if you remember, I was like super, super lean, and I had no defense and in my body, so it's just happened. I mean, long story short, after me getting released from WWE, like I was in the um like I'm gonna get back on the grind. I'm motivated. It just hit me out of nowhere. So it was like a double whammy. I was already gonna going through some stuff and
Sure.
it's just oh man, like what else is gonna happen? Like, oh, it hit me unexpectedly and then just I waited 2 weeks. I waited 2 weeks. Why? Because I didn't want to pay a damn hospital bill.
Sure. No. Oh my
So
God. Like what a reality that is. God.
but I that was my mistake because I was starting to be like I was like delusional, like my brain was frying,
Oh my
and
gosh.
my wife too was sick, but she wasn't sick as me.
Yeah.
My fever would not go down. I was literally coughing off blood every day for the past 2 weeks when it hit me, and it was just getting worse and worse. And I guess I passed out a couple of times. I hit my head and
Holy
I was
shit.
white. I was blue. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody, like not even my parents, and they were even pissed off when once they found out.
Why were you
But
keeping it so under wraps? What happened? Why weren't you telling anybody?
uh, 'cause I'm a private person. I don't like, you know, I don't like showing my medical history to the world, and I don't want like, I just don't want. I don't want any sympathy or anything. I'm a private person. Like I
Yeah.
can take care of myself. I can do this, but man, it scared the shit out of me. I'll
I
tell you that.
bet. I bet.
Because I literally felt like I was dying. I couldn't even move. So I can't remember. She said she picked me up and dragged me to the car. I was kind of like passing out, and she was dragging me. And I can't remember. I was in a wheelchair. She said that she pushed me all the way in, and at the time of the hospital, there was like so many people, like kind of like with the same as me, but I was worse, and I was like the
Yeah.
last one to get a bed. I didn't even know that. So they were gonna put me in a coma, and my wife said no because he's not gonna come back. He's gonna die. Like his heart's stopping. They need to revive me. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
You had to
So
be revived?
they didn't, but they say that I came back. I don't know what happened, but my heart
Oh my
stopped and then it
gosh.
came back, and that was like 3 times. So I was like, yeah, like in and out of that, and I just didn't know what was going on. I was just super tired and I wanted to sleep, but
Oh my
apparently, what
God.
my wife was telling me was like really bad, and I ended up staying in the ER for 2.5 months.
Holy
I lost
shit.
all my weight. I was really, I was getting like so much massive drugs, like every day. I was on close watch because my heart kept stopping. It was so scary because I was alone. Like nobody, not even my wife couldn't visit me. No family,
Yeah.
nobody. So I was like really like alone and uh everything desperate, sad, everything. I was like, man,
Holy shit.
I was really bad, man. And only a few people knew, only a few, not much. But yeah, and then I got out. I got out and I just remember me brushing my own teeth at home and crying. Like my wife's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I'm brushing my own teeth for the first time. It feels so good." I'm like,
Oh
man,
my gosh. Why do you think that it hit you so hard? Did they give any
I don't,
reasoning as to why it affected you more than it would maybe somebody else?
I don't know. I mean, I was well taken care of. Like I took care of myself, but
Yeah.
I mean, on top of that, it's just I don't know. It just hit me, and I was just it just happened, I guess. And but also too, like in my mindset and everything, what I was going through, I was already set for retirement because I'm like, man, I don't think I have the lung power. I don't like. I tried walking outside, I couldn't even breathe, and I was like, man, like because I already had light asthma, and this was like, oh man, I developed blood clots in my lungs, stomach
Oh my
ulcer,
Lord.
my high blood pressure. I almost had diabetes. On top of that, it was just crazy. Like it was a really life scare. But man, getting
How
out,
scary too to just go from being this like athlete that you are, and
yeah,
we see the capacity in which your body operates. I see that you take care of your body. Like you are somebody
yeah,
that's like this finely tuned specimen. And then to be like, oh my God, I might have to retire because the things you
yeah.
just rattled off happened. Like what? Like holy 180. That's awful.
And really, like I didn't really think I was gonna be alive. But once I got out of the hospital, um, 3 weeks later, I'm like having dinner with my wife. I'm already I had my drink in my hand. I'm like I'm toasting and I'm like meditating, preparing. I'm like, this is it. I'm done. My phone rings. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Before I drink my drink, my phone's ringing. My oh, it's Tony Khan. Tony
Ha.
Tony Khan calls me. I'm like, wow. Okay. We talked and he offered me a match with FTR. I'm excited. I'm not even thinking of me being sick. And I hung up and I looked at my wife like, what the hell did I just do? I just got out of the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. So everything's running through my mind. Everything was just hitting me. I'm like, I went to the bathroom. I literally started like bawling. I'm like, man, can I do this? Like, you know what? I'm gonna roll the dice on this. I'm like, babe, you need to support me in this. I'm like, well, she was kind of mad at me. It's like, no, your heart, like, you need to stop. Like this is a sign. Like, no, this is a sign too. Like, because my very first major injury back in 2011, I messed up my head really bad, and I
Right.
had the same scenario. I had seriously, I had a drink, and I'm like, "Whoa, WWE called me for a tryout. Let's keep going." So this is like it just went in full circle. I'm like, when Tony,
Yeah.
like, wow, let me roll the dice on this. So I get there, I have to tell FTR. You know, I worked with them for a long time.
Yeah.
Man, they took care of me. They're that's why they're the best. They're the best. But
Yep.
they took care of me, and that's why I'm forever grateful for them because I told them like, hey, if I have a heart attack or anything, just roll me underneath the ring.
Oh my,
I didn't
yeah,
tell
pin me. Oh my God, that's
I didn't even
so
tell anybody.
crazy.
I didn't even tell anybody about this, but that's why I felt so emotional and it was just like hitting me everything. Like I had to pray to my friend. I called him Harper, and it was the day before was the Day of the Dead, el Dia de los Muertos. So since tradition, we pray, we do, we always pray to our loved ones and our friends. You know, me when I first went up on the road. I mean, many people don't know we bonded. He kind of helped me mentally too. Like, hey man, it's gonna be cool. It's your first tour in WWE. Like the boys will know the boys, you know, and had that cool, strong connection with him. Like, hey, Dragon Gate, buddy. Hey, Dragon Gate, because we were in Dragon Gate, you know, and so it kind of hit me there because I kind of like us Latinos, we pray a lot, and it kind of felt right for me to, for the first time, like you know what, let me, like his I felt his presence. Like to me, it was like man. when you helped me the first time I got on the road in WWE, like mentally, I kind of felt the same there because I didn't feel scared because I was in a way. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a heart attack in that ring. I'm like, man, but no, everything went well. FTR took care of me. So after the match, went back to my room, got super emotional again, because I'm like, holy shit, I survived. I'm alive.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, like it was a risk, but I took it as a sign. I always see things as a sign.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to things. Like uh so when I see numbers, I have this, like, for example, I'm picture on my phone that says number one, just in
Okay.
case. Like I was throwing out the garbage, I'm like, man, number one, number one. I'm like, wow, I see it. So I'm always seeing signs. So to me, uh
Do you ever like look up what that means when you see the same number all the time?
oh yeah, the meaning, the affirmation, what it means, in relationship, in work, in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It means everything. So to me, again, like when after the match, I went back to my room and I got super emotional, and of course I wanted to pray because the day before was el Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, and something that we do, we pray, and I did that tweet to Harper, which I always call him Harper. I never call him John. Funny,
Yeah.
he's always like, man, Manny, don't ever call me John. There's a fucking John Moxley here. I swear to God. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, by the way, can my son have your mask? Yeah, bro, here you go, dog. That's the day I gave him the
Yeah.
mask. Like, yo, bro, anytime. But like my relationship with him, like, was special because to me, the boys know the boys. And when I first got on the road, he helped me out mentally because I was nervous. I didn't
Mhm.
know, and since I knew him since Dragon Gate, back in the Indies, and to me, it's just he kind of helped me out. I'm like, wow, it's cool. I kind of felt had the same feeling when I went there too, and I'm like, that's why I had to do that pray, and I just didn't know it was gonna affect so much people the wrong way, or I just it was just heartbreaking to me. I
Wait, what
just
do you
did.
mean? What do you mean?
I misspelled his name on
Oh,
Twitter.
right. You
Yeah,
put an H in it.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't even thinking. I was just really crying when I was tweeting.
Sure, 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 sure.
But
It's
I
you
mean,
know, it's a
because
human
I'm like, man,
mistake.
I'm alive, and I went to sleep. And then I woke up. I saw what was happening, and it's just like, man, it's just I just felt sad. But other than that,
I mean, it's such a, it's a pretty harmless mistake for people to get upset about that. I get
it,
it, but also like, I don't know. You know how many times even if like your phone auto corrects something on you,
yeah,
something like that can happen. Like,
I know. I was just emotional. I was
yeah.
crying. I was just grateful I was alive. But again, like nobody knows the other side of my story that I literally almost died, and 3 weeks later I'm wrestling in AEW and had to tell FTR, like my lungs were burning. I was spitting out blood still. I was
Oh my
still on
God.
oxygen machines back at home, and I was actually gonna bring my oxygen machine. That was the only request I was trying to see. I have a machine on my brain just to help me breathe, but I didn't really tell them why. And because it was requested that I had to carry my oxygen machine because I couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And actually I couldn't even walk as much too. But I ate coffee. What else? Pre-workout, whatever it took for me to get that energy, and a couple Advil and CBD just for me to go through the match. And because I was
Yeah.
like nervous that I was gonna have a heart attack in the ring.
How were you feeling like during the match? I mean, you
Um,
mentioned spitting up, coughing up
my
blood,
lungs
but
were burning. They were burning. I was emotional. I was I was just like on. It was just like it's like riding a bike. It was
yeah.
like riding a bike because when I was in there, it was just like, okay, go, go, boom, do what I have to do, and but at the same time, I just felt burning a little bit. I'm like, and when the final move happened, I'm like, oh, it's done. It's like
It's
it's
hard
done.
too because you don't really have a style that like lends itself to like rest spots, so to speak. Like when you go,
Right,
you're going, going, going that whole match. You're not gonna, put someone in a headlock to catch your breath.
right, and I managed to pull through. I pulled through, and but again, I felt grateful, but at the end, I just felt heartbroken because my moment I felt alive again. It was like overshadowed by that tweet, and it's just
Yeah.
like which I don't care. Twitter's Twitter no more. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I never tweet as much. I never like even if I stole something like no, whatever.
Right.
But again, I'm grateful I'm alive. I just want to keep going. I'm not gonna let this stop me. And I just told myself that always lucha, lucha, lucha. And it's right. And it's true. Always
Yeah.
lucha, always fight, keep going.
Yeah.
And
So like it's just so crazy to me that you were like in the hospital for like 2.5 months, like so sick with COVID, to come out,
yeah,
have this opportunity to like have this new lease on life. Do you
yeah.
still feel that way? I mean, you must when you have a brush like that.
Well, right now I do feel like I'm alive again. I feel like a second chance in life.
Hmm.
And I feel that things happen for a reason. There's a reason why that happened, and because it makes me better. It makes me grateful. It made me even grateful to do the small things that I forgot, like the little things like flowering, like watering my plants, and
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
going for a walk, and just being
Sure.
grateful for what I have, and grateful my family's still healthy, and just little things like that. It just made me
Yeah.
realize, and that's why I just keep going. And I like helping everywhere I go. I like helping other wrestlers. I like helping them. Okay, these are the basics, and I just like to get into WWE. I like helping a lot, no matter what.
Yeah.
And but for a while, I did feel like the door did close for me to get bookings after that. I did kind of went into the depression for a bit, and
You think that all because of a tweet?
um, I don't know. I think, well, I couldn't get work.
That's crazy. Like that seems so like because what I don't remember what the tweet was, but it was just something very
I don't
positive
know.
about John Huber. And just because you put an H in his name, like people like had like wanted your head on a stake, like that seems so excessive to me.
I again like I don't really like I just
Because that's all you did,
push
right?
it
You
away.
tweeted like
Yeah.
thanking him or like that you were thinking of him or something like that, right?
Yeah, but I mean I can see like I don't know, some people thought it was like for clout or something. And I just I just always say like the boys know the boys. It's okay. I mean, the kids are not there, the families are not there, the wives, the husbands are not there, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like I just felt heartbroken, and I'm like, you know what, I just pushed it aside. Let's keep going no matter what,
Yeah.
because I didn't let that stop me after my depression. That I Because I
Yeah.
had to reevaluate my life, reevaluate my thoughts, my mind, everything that I've been through, that I worked for. It was just like I felt it was taken away. But again, lucha.
So how do
Always
you pick
lucha.
yourself up from that? I mean, even when you mention like, you're released from WWE and then you get hit with COVID as badly as you did. So like mentally you're struggling,
Mm.
physically you're struggling, and now you're mentally struggling again. How do you pick up those pieces to kind of get on with it? Is it just like one day at a time? Was there like a mantra that you had? Like how did you kind of get yourself back on track? It's hard. I feel like when that like depression hits and it just sucks you down like a
Yeah,
riptide, like it's hard to pull yourself out of that.
I did. I mean, I just had to put one foot after another, one foot forward, another foot forward. And I work on it every day until it became a habit, and until I make it a habit, until I force myself to be better. On top of all the medication that I was taking heavily medication that it made me develop crazy acne. And that's why I wrestle with a shirt on, and I still kind of clearing out from that, which is that was an everyday thing. And
Gosh.
I'm still taking medication till this day, just to
Wow.
clear myself. But I'm good
Yeah.
to go. But I'm still taking medication on top of that. um
Holy shit.
but
What is it
you know what,
medication like for your lungs or something? Or
for
like,
my, yeah, just for my lungs and for my acne,
okay.
for my
Yeah.
just the little stuff that I have complications still.
Yeah.
um but yeah, like I feel like doors are opening. I'm hungry again. And if it wasn't me taking that step, I would just give up. I would have lost everything, because I
Yeah.
was already like tapped out and emotional, and tapped out here.
What were the
And,
conversations you were having with your wife? during all of this of like trying to figure out, am I going to stay as a professional wrestler? Am I going to try to find more bookings? Starting the CBD company with Mercedes, and we'll get
Yeah.
into that in a second too. But like, what were those conversations that you're having with your wife, Abby?
Um, I mean, Abby, she's my everything. She's my rock. She I mean, I put so much stress on her too, on top of that. Um, yeah, it was just a conversation. Like she was like, "Okay, what's next? What are you gonna do?" Like, man, like I could go back. Me being a life skills instructor for the mentally disabled, like a special ed teacher. I did
Mm-hmm.
that on the side.
Yeah.
And I love doing that too. But I'm also felt like I'm like I have to do this. Like it's in my blood. Like I have to keep going. Like just when I was a kid, when I first saw wrestling, I felt I was gonna be in that ring, and
Yeah.
just having that same feeling, like I had to tell Abby, I'm like, man, like I have to do this no matter what. I can't explain it. I just can't. I'm here on this earth for this reason. Now I want to give back. I want to help, and hey, so be it. They call me back, cool, but I'll be ready. But in the meantime, I want to create something that I've been building on, and I'm glad that Mercedes is part of the team now with the CBD. And why? Because I'm a big fan of getting healthy and living a long life.
Yeah,
Because
what was like sort of like the seedlings for you guys to like decide that you wanted to start your own CBD company? You guys were just both big CBD like users and fans to begin with, and then you wanted to kind of harness it on your own.
well, I'll tell you how this happened. It all happened with a misdiagnosis from my wife, Abby. She was misdiagnosed with a brain tumor.
Oh shit.
So I was on the road, uh, waiting for the results a month in a month and a week. I want to say, not knowing if Abby was gonna die or not. So I went through some shit, man. And
Holy shit. Like, oh my God.
so I'm on the road. Hey, lucha, whatever, doing my thing, and like I wonder if they're gonna tell me the results if Abby has a brain tumor or not. So uh, we okay after the month and the time that we were waiting, we got the results. It was just the damn gluten allergy. After the fourth,
What?
yeah, the fourth doctor, because we went to the first doctor and it's like, oh, we want to do surgery. Nope. Second doctor, nope. Third doctor, nope. Hell no. And so yeah, it was just like a misdiagnosis. And like, you know what? Your wife's just like gluten allergy. They want to do all this surgery, this
I
damn
mean,
thing.
that's
Just
a
change
pretty
your diet.
big like gap. Like, holy
Yeah,
shit, brain tumor to like maybe let's get you some gluten-free bread or pasta.
or
Like, oh my God.
something.
I know there's more to it than that, obviously, but like, holy shit.
Oh yeah. So that's why I smartened up. Like, you know what? You gotta be your own damn doctor. I'm like, you know what?
Honestly, isn't it
Yeah,
so scary how much
very scary.
like faith and trust we put into the medical field that well, they're
Very.
doctors, they know what the answer is. And it's like, no, they like a lot like get other opinions and like do some
Exactly.
research yourself, not on WebMD, but like
Mm-mm.
finding the other ways to like
Yeah.
to educate yourself.
Oh yeah.
Holy
Oh
shit.
yeah. And that's the reason too. Like, we decided. Well, after that, uh, we cleaned out our whole fridge. Like, you know what? So you won't be by yourself. I'll go gluten allergy with you, gluten free, whatever. Like
Good husband
uh,
right there.
we both have crazy high inflammation. So let's just change our diet. And we did like a liquid diet for like 3 days.
Oof.
Man, it was hard,
Yeah, I bet.
but after
What were you
that,
having? Like juices, like fruit juices, vegetable
yes,
juice, broth?
yeah, like the juices, like you just order like a bunch of juices and
Yeah.
like you just juice out like crazy.
Yeah. That's
But
hard. After 3 days, I think is like the max that I could go, and I would be miserable
me
after
too.
those like
I was
72
miserable.
hours.
But
Pause out.
when we started eating, it was like the best food in the world. And I just started jotting down like, all right, cool. Now I can jot down like what I'm eating
Yeah.
and starting doing my numbers. And with Abby, she just got better. And with me, I just got super fucking shredded.
Not
I'm like,
bad.
wait
We'll
a
take
minute.
it.
This is the only thing I had to do. Just change my like I just go to gluten free and then just change my diet. I'm like, it's a damn gluten. But
Yeah.
it made me better, it made me hungrier. Like I was waking up at 4 in the morning, working out 6 days 6 times a day. six
What?
times a day.
6 times a
I,
day, Manny,
I,
that's crazy.
I know. You know how crazy I am. So I started from 5 in the morning and I ended at 10. But I spread out my whole workout and I started with a morning jog. And after that, I ate like a couple meals. And I ate like one meal and then I went to the gym, came back, same thing, 6 times.
Oh my
And I finished it.
goodness.
I don't know, because I had one vision. I had one vision to go to Vince's office. Hey, Vince, I'm back. What's up?
Holy shit.
His,
Wow.
his reaction is like, God damn, you're fucking ripped.
Hey, you could ask him about that mustache while you're at it.
Oh man, he looks great, man. He looks like a little Pepe Aguilar, kind of like those Mexican little
He looks
cowboy
like
guy. Oh yeah, dude. Oh
yeah. What's the Adams family dad's name?
yes,
He
este
looks like
Gomez.
him. Gomez.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gomez. Ándale. He was great. All right, all right. Just getting used to. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh
funny.
man.
Uh
You know what? And one thing too, like I'm also I'm seeing that they brought the Latino World Order. I thought it was pretty cool.
yes, agreed. So
Yeah.
between like Latino World Order, obviously all the stuff that they're doing with Ray and Dominic. What did you think of Ray going into Hall of Fame?
Oh, I think it was great. It was long overdue. I mean, he's
Yeah.
the GOAT. I told him he's the greatest mask of all time, and I'm the greatest lucha of all time. Maybe it has to be this match one day. He's like, man, that's pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really proud of him, and I'm proud of Dominic, and I'm grateful. It's just also the current. It's bittersweet. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's finally happening. But for a really long time, I was always advocating for the Latinos.
Yeah, no, I've
You
I've
know,
been there when
you
you've been
remember
doing that.
it seems
Certainly.
like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I mean, there is some kind of sadness that I'm not part of it, but I'm also happy and I'm grateful that they're starting it and
Yeah.
they're doing it. I did all the red carpets. I was like one of the first Latinos to go out there and just push. And I had to ask permission to Vince, like, hey Vince, let me go out there, man. Let's get the Latino community out there. Let's get them talking. Let's
Yeah.
get so I was grateful for that. I was really grateful for that. I did all the red carpets, all the Latin Grammys.
Well, also, like, I think you can like speak too of like the passion that Latino fans bring to professional
Oh
wrestling.
yeah,
I mean, obviously it's such a huge part of the culture to begin with,
definitely.
but like to what that fan base really brings to the table, it's huge. Like, I mean, how you got to tap into that.
So huge. Again, I was just so grateful to being part of all of that and just talking all WWE and getting the chance to tour in Mexico with my US title, and having a little girl dressed like me saying, "Hey, you motivated me to lucha, but I'm not a wrestling fan, but you motivated me to be a doctor." I'm like,
Oh,
"What?"
oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, so
Hey,
I will
girl.
always remember that story. It's like, man, but yeah, everywhere I go, it's like now, it's like, oh, I've seen you on the red carpets. I see you in the Latin Grammys. Like, it's great. Like, it's great that now, like, the Latinos are getting more notice, and everyone,
Yeah.
everyone's different. And again, I'm very proud of Ray and Dominic and for everything that he's doing. And yeah, just it's great. It's really great.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, when you look at, you mentioned Latino World Order, we can talk Ray and Dominic and, on the AEW side of things as well. Like there really is a lot more spots for that lucha style for the Latino
Mhm,
stars to like really get out there and shine. It's really nice to see that and to see yeah, just to see a spotlight really shone on what you guys are
mhm.
really bringing to the table. It's incredible.
It's really great. I mean, again, everybody's different, and there will never be another Eddie, just like there will be
Sure.
never be another Ray,
Yep.
and everyone is different. And I'm it's kind of cool to see like what can everyone bring to the table differently, and it's
Yeah.
great to see that.
Yep. Yeah. No,
And,
it's definitely
yeah,
awesome. Hell
I
yeah.
got an
So
opportunity. Actually, my bad, I got an opportunity to train as a coach on an NXT,
oh,
and seeing that view from that side, man, I learned a lot more. I learned.
okay.
I produced 2 matches. It was
Who were
great.
you working with?
Uh, it was I had a show. It was an NXT live event. It was me, Terry Taylor, and Norman as
Good
producers.
crew.
Yeah,
Good
so it was
crew.
great. And yeah, just seeing from that light, from that view, and producing a match, it was great. I learned
Yeah.
so much. Uh,
It's so
And
funny how that is in wrestling, as much as like you can have the thing that you do. And if you're the wrestler, for me being like the broadcaster doing interviews, like there's always a different viewpoint that you just get so much more knowledge
yes,
from, whatever that may
oh
be.
yeah,
And it's like, even like, if I step in the ring and I do an interview in the ring, and it's like, it's obviously much different than doing it in the back. Now I've got to react to the crowd. And now, if you're finding the hard cam, like there's so many different things to react to, but like being able to sit in the TV truck and like gain that knowledge, there's just so many different hats that you can wear. And I feel like honestly in pro wrestling, really more than any other avenue of entertainment, I feel like there's just always something to learn. You never know it all. Never.
exactly. And that's what makes you better. And you learn from the other side of the business, and it makes you
Yeah.
better. And it made me learn from my mistakes too. And like, man, okay. So it just made me realize so much, and I learned so much.
What was something that you learned from like that producer side of things that you're like, oh, I would have produced myself differently doing this?
Ooh, man.
Did anything come to mind?
Um, yeah, I mean, like, there's just so much like I like I'm a hands-on person. So when I was in there, I like showing the move and bumping for them and like this is how you do it, this and that. Like to me, um the stuff they're doing now is like, man, it's great. Like um I don't know how else to explain it. Like I just feel like what they're doing is great, and being on that side of on the producing team, it made me realize like, man, if I was producing myself, I would be like, be more, be be more happy, like jump or do something at this time or lucha at this right time, and I would correct myself and
Mm,
my timings, my the from the beginning to the end. That's what I would do. I would
yeah.
if I was critiquing myself, seeing my own self back when I first started, and then seeing like, don't be nervous, you
It's
got
hard
this.
to produce yourself. Some
It
people
is,
are
it
really
is right.
great
But I was
at
just
it, and like, because I think I'm good at giving advice to other people, but like I never like I don't see myself in that
right.
lens. It's sometimes hard for me to produce myself a little bit.
Like I would have said to myself, more character, more character. There you go, you got it. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I screamed, like, there you go, you got it. And I was actually screaming, and I lost my voice the whole time. I'm like, man, I was really, really excited to work with everybody in NXT. It
Yeah. So
was
now,
so
I
cool.
mean, I've seen, in the last like little while, from being able to work in Japan, of course, being able to work in Poland, like you've been able to go on the like the Lucha World Tour. You're taking this thing global. How have those experiences been for you working in Poland and working out in Japan?
Oh, it makes me hungry. It
Yeah.
makes me so hungry because seeing the crowd and screaming lucha, lucha, still seeing the kids and like, man, it's just so I can't give that up. Like it's like, man, they're rooting for me, like they're counting on me. I can't let them down. That's how I
Hmm.
feel because when they scream lucha, lucha, it's like they're telling me to fight. They're motivating me, and it's worldwide, and it's a movement. And even when I went to Pakistan, it's like, man, the
Oh,
whole
into
crowd.
Pakistan too. That's right. I forgot about
Yeah,
Pakistan. Yeah.
it
How are
was
the
so
crowds
great.
different in Pakistan and in Poland?
They take it so seriously. It's so great because when I went in there, I didn't expect like a huge event. It was a huge event. It, it,
Yeah.
it was like a WrestleMania.
Wow.
So they had like 30,000 plus people, and they had like fireworks. I had like crazy pyro,
Get that
like,
pyro, baby.
and I'm like, yo, you gave me more pyro than my first WrestleMania. But like one little rocket came out. I'm like, ah, there it is. So like, yeah, I had one little rocket, but you guys gave me so much fire, and I'm like, oh my god, it was pretty cool. And again, Lucha's universal, and it's motivating me a lot. Just hearing that, coming back from that, traveling around the world, going to Japan. Another thing too, when I went to Japan, I'm expecting quiet because it was long overdue. I was supposed to go to Japan a long time ago before WWE, but I had to cancel so much because of other promises and like, man, oh, if you don't, I just had to
Hmm.
cancel.
Yeah.
So I went with WWE in Japan just one time, and I was hoping, like, man, I really wanted to make a statement, make an impact there in Japan.
Yeah.
I made an impact everywhere else, but not Japan. But now when I got there, my mindset like, okay, they're gonna be quiet. I gotta be ready. No, man, they started clapping like
Oh,
lucha, lucha.
awesome.
Wait a minute. So like again, it makes me hungry. It makes me feel alive. It makes me again feel like a second chance.
Well,
And I want to do
speaking,
things different this time.
yeah. And speaking about making an impact in Japan, of course, you were over there with Mercedes when she made her
Oh yeah,
debut in New Japan. What was
yeah.
that like? I mean, obviously, you guys have such a close relationship, and for you to be able to be over there with her as she makes this like new gigantic leap in her career.
I think I'm so beyond proud of her because she she knows what she wants and she's a go getter,
Mm-hmm.
and that motivates me too because we motivate each other. Um, yeah, like going over there and seeing and being in the crowd and seeing New Japan. I have that like I had my tryout in WWE. I'm looking around like, man, I can be here. It's like, this is that feeling like that that push within me that I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
Um, but being there and seeing her debut, man, everything was like, wow. Going to the back, everything, just meeting everybody, man, it was just so surreal, and it was just so surreal for her and everything she's
Yeah.
accomplished, and she's accomplishing even more. On top of that, man, again, we have the best CBD product in the world, and it's really, again, we've been working so hard on top of that, and we nonstop. Either we're wrestling or we're like either nonstop. Um, talking about business, the CBD,
Yeah.
hey, this happened. Uh, we're uh, we're gonna do this new product or something, whatever it is that we're talking about. CBD, Candela, we're always on call, and we were actually talking earlier, but yeah, like she's always grinding, and that motivates me. And on top of that, like she's great. She's
What
great,
is
and
like the origin story of you guys becoming such good friends? How did this all kind of start?
I can't remember, to be honest. It was NXT. It was just
Yeah, like
NXT.
I feel like I just always like think of you two as like synonymous pals. Like you guys are always together.
We both love the same thing. We both love lucha libre. We both love to practice everywhere, wherever I'm at. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go down there and practice. All right, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like she's my neighbor and almost my neighbor. And when Abby always makes like Mexican food or salsa, I was like, all right, I'm there. I'm like, all right, cool,
Oh
come on
hell
over.
yeah. God, I
So
wish you were
like,
my neighbor. I'd jump on that. Mm.
and it's just so funny because like we have the same goal. We have the same goal, and we're both goal getters, and we just clicked. We clicked, and we were always road buddies. Me, Mercedes, Apollo, uh, Bailey. Man, we're just like we're
Good
family.
crew. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
we're
crew.
true. And if it was not just me and Apollo, me and Mercedes, or me and Pam, Bailey. So we just clicked, and we love the same thing. We have the same passion, and we have the same passion about CBD too, and just living a long, healthy lifestyle.
Okay, talk to me about the CBD because I also love CBD. What makes your CBD so top tier?
We have the vegan monk fruit gummies, and they're our number one top sellers. I started with the CBD protein, and that one took me. I mean, besides my gummies and everything else, it did took me like 3.5 ish or 3 years to perfect it because I tried the best and the worst.
Yeah.
So we know what's the best and we know what's the worst out there. And me being really critique like how I am in my mask and
Yeah.
designing and all that stuff, I want the best. I did spend. You have to spend to make the best product,
Sure. Yeah, I
and
bet.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm like,
Is
this
that
has to be
scary? Is that a
good.
little bit
Very
scary when
scary.
you're starting a business and you're like, please
Oh
let
my
this
god,
work?
it was so scary, but you know what? It was so rewarding because at the end we won the best up and coming world of the CBD,
Oh my
like
gosh.
the best up and coming business CBD in the world,
Good for you guys.
man. But yeah, when Mercedes came to our business and Candela, man, like we clicked and we had the same mindset. It's like this
What
is
is
what we want
candela?
better.
What does that mean?
It means candle, like to give light.
Okay.
It's short for candle.
Okay.
To feel light, to feel peace. That's what candle is. It's like we give light to the world and not just um with how do you say I lost my train of thought. Yeah,
Happens to me
because I'm
all the
talking
time.
CBD.
All
So
right.
but yeah, we worked really hard, and our vegan gummies are our number one seller. I At WrestleCon I handed out a lot of them. to
Yeah,
the
I want
wrestlers,
some of that.
like because a lot of them are hitting me up right now, and they're coated in monk fruit and they're vegan.
Sometimes I
That's what they
forget to have CBD. Like I always have it in my backpack, and it's such every time I use CBD, I'm like, oh yes, I love CBD,
right.
and then I kind of forget. I have like some good CBD teas at home too that are really nice.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I like to
We're getting
mellow it
we're
out a
getting
little
a lot
bit.
more. We're getting a lot more. We're getting it's like a wellness line, a fitness line, and a health line. So we're expanding worldwide. We're just it takes time. It takes time
Sure.
because
Oh my God, everything takes time,
we want to
100%.
do things right. We want to do
Yeah,
things right for our number one, and we're always busy. So last night we were just doing so many shipments of orders of the vegan gummies, and those are again our number one sellers.
so you guys sell
Uh,
the gummies? Do you guys do like the droppers and stuff too? You kind of do
yes,
it
we do.
all? Okay.
Yes, we do. We have the. I don't have a sample here, but this is one of them. This is a citrine, orange, and mango taste. Wait,
Oh, that
there.
sounds nice.
Wait. There it is.
There it is. That sounds
Yeah.
delicious.
So I put this in my food and my rice cakes. I also too when we go to markets and we go there, people are drinking. It's like, oh, if you're gonna drive home, here it is. Get some CBD in your drink, and it brings down the buzz. So if anything, if you're gonna drive or anyone's gonna drive here, it brings down the buzz. But they don't drive. But I always
Yeah.
say that in case someone, you never know. I always like helping, and people shouldn't drive like that.
Sure, of
But
course not.
I'm
Do not
always saying
recommend.
for safety. But if it brings down inflammation or you're at home, you don't want to feel like that too, then okay, cool. It brings it down too. Now a lot of people don't know that.
Oh, I
And
didn't
that's
know
why I'm
that.
more passionate about that too. Not only inflammation, but it all helps you too, with anxiety, with stress,
Yeah,
with
I like it
sleep.
for that. I like to take a little
Yeah.
edge off when I get on the plane. That's the
Oh
big
yeah.
one for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it
Couple
helps you
little
too.
drops under the tongue.
And then if your back is hurting, oh, that's gonna help you. You're gonna feel like $1 million.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Ooh,
I always
yes.
like giving my product because I like people trying it first and then they come back like,
That's
wow,
always the
it
best
helped
way,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Let people try
Yeah.
it,
And let me
spread
know
the
if you want to
word.
try it too. I
Yeah,
would love
oh
to
my
send you
God.
some.
Please, I would
Please.
love to. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like I was saying, it's like I always kind of like forget to use CBD, but I do really like it. It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm sure at this point everybody knows that CBD and THC are different. Do we need to explain that? Does
Exactly.
everybody know that already? I feel like everyone already knows that,
Yeah,
right?
I mean CBD comes from a THC plant. It becomes hemp when they extract it and then CBD. It's not
Okay.
for everybody. Like a lot of people know about it. Um a lot
What
of
is like
people
the biggest complaint? Why would somebody not like CBD? I've not really heard someone say
because
that they don't like
they
it.
again they think right away I'm gonna get high. I'm gonna
Right.
do this. No. There are some CBD out there that are not good that has a high potency of THC, which is above the legal limit.
Yeah.
The legal limit is zero point 0.3, and the tinctures is ours is lower than that. The
Okay.
vegan gummies have no THC at all, which that's
Yeah.
why they're our number one.
Yeah, I like that.
Um, our CBD protein, which sold out already. I'm still coming up with another one. That one, again, no THC, it's just pure CBD. But yeah, it comes from a THC plant, a weed plant. When they extract it, it becomes hemp. Then it becomes CBD.
Okay. A little science behind it. Would you guys make where's yours come from?
Our manufacturer right now is in Daytona.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. Like I could just drive an hour
Yeah.
away,
Yeah,
pick it
nice
up,
and
and then
close.
which I actually got to go next Tuesday and come up with some new stuff. So I'm
So
actually excited.
you are so like motivated. You are like booked and busy doing a million different things. What is on your to-do list right now? Is like the main focus working on Candela? Is it doing more getting booked on more wrestling stuff? Like where are you at?
Yes, all of the above. Candela is number one, of course. If I'm always on call, if anything, if I need to go ship something real quick or I need to answer some emails or whatever it is, I'm always on my phone answering emails. Either if
Yeah.
it's not CBD Candela, or answering emails, or I'm answering other emails with bookings and opportunities,
So
for
you're
other
always on
stuff.
your phone is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I got two cool opportunities. Last time I did the the red carpet for the Spider-Man movie premiere.
Oh, cool.
I did that one. I did the Love, Thor and Thunder.
Okay.
I did that one with Abby. It was pretty cool. So I'm doing stuff like that, like doing premieres, little red carpets. There's another one too that I did called Green Ghost. It was in Texas. It was like this
Oh.
bass luchador. Danny Trejo was there. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm doing stuff like that. Trying to move around the world. I was gonna box, but then that's when the COVID happened. I was training to box. I don't
How
know
would
why.
that have gone?
I don't know, but I my grandpa always wanted me to box and like, mijo, mucho dinero in boxing or baseball. I'm like, no wrestling. I'm like, come on, grandpa. I like wrestling. And yeah, I kind of wanted to do it because of my grandpa. He always wanted
Yeah.
me to box. Um,
Would you have worn your mask for that?
yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
I was gonna I had it designed and everything. I was training with professionals. I was training a couple boxers in Miami and Texas. Yeah, I
Dude,
was
put
just
that
training
back on the
hard.
bucket list. Go do it.
I know, right? I don't know if Abby would like it.
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, you can try it. Worst case
Of course.
scenario, you get
No, I
beat
would
up,
love to.
but you can handle it.
And I still, yeah, there's so much I want to do. Like I still want to box. I want to compete in fitness too.
Oh,
So
okay. Wait, did you do like a GQ thing or something? Did that happen?
yeah,
You
this one,
did, right?
yeah.
Yeah, sexy Manny. There he is.
It was cool. Like getting that opportunity, I thought it was pretty
That's
surreal.
huge.
I didn't really it didn't really hit me until I got there in Mexico and like, all right, and then I did the shoots and I saw the photos. I'm like, wow, that's me. Oh, cool. Like what the
Crazy.
but yeah, and then just again, I'm grateful for the opportunities. I made the best of it. The opportunities to be in WWE, everything that I've done
Yeah.
with Lucha Dragons, Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party had the most fun too.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. Yeah. I think
yeah,
I called maybe more Lucha House Party
yeah,
matches than just about anybody else.
yeah, that is so cool, man. And
Do
we
you
had so
stay in touch with Lindsay and Grand Metalik?
oh, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
all the time, all the time. Metallics is like always hitting me up, like, "Hey, Manny, let's go training." I'm like, "Oh, bro, anything." If he always loves to train. He was hitting me up.
Yeah.
Lisa too. We're always either training or he actually made me my top singlet for Japan.
Oh,
He
wow.
yeah, it was really good, and he last minute he helped me out with that, and on top of that, he's really good at making gear with stuff
Yeah.
like that,
Oh,
man.
awesome. What a
But
skill to
yeah,
have.
he helped me a lot. So yeah, but other than that, we keep in touch still.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, same with Sin Cara here and there. Like, hey, amigo, what's
Oh,
up?
I got to see Sin Cara when we were in El Paso, I think.
Oh,
I got to
yeah,
see
that's where he's
him.
at.
Yeah, he came
Yeah, yeah,
backstage,
yeah.
got to see him. He had his son with him. Yeah, it was so good
Ah,
to see him.
I know his kids
Miss
are always.
that guy. That guy's a rascal.
I know. That dude. Good times. Good times. Good
I
memories.
know. I know. So many good memories. Well, dude,
Oh,
I'm so glad that you were like healthy, that you're
thank
feeling
you.
good, that you've got all these things that you're working on, all these different projects. I couldn't be happier for you, but I mean, more than
Thank
anything, I'm just
you.
so happy that you have your health because, yeah, I
Yes.
remember,
Yes.
earlier on, I mean, it was a while ago when you told me that this had all kind of happened and you were keeping it under wraps for the time being, but
Yeah.
man, so glad that you're feeling good.
I'm again, I'm alive. I'm grateful. I'm ready to work anywhere.
Yeah.
Again, I just feel like I do have a second chance in life, and I'm just grateful for every little thing, even the shirt that I'm wearing, everything, to
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
everything.
Nice
Oh,
to get it. I mean, you go through some shit to be able to get that
yeah,
nice perspective.
right.
Which it always kind of sucks that you've got to be dragged through the mud in order to like appreciate all of those small little things, but you're
Yeah,
here
again,
and
like
you're doing
I'm
it.
glad it happened in a way. I'm glad I went through all of that shit
Yeah.
because now it's making me better, it's making me wiser. I'm super grateful. Um, I want to smile, even though I don't feel like smile every day. But when I do, I'm like, man, now I feel good. You
Yeah.
know, like when you force a smile, and it's true when they say that.
That is the habit. People say you're supposed to
It
do
is,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Like when you're having a
Change your
bad day
mood.
or something stressful, whatever, just force a smile,
But when
walk,
you're in
and
a bad mood, that's the last thing you want to do. You're like,
I
piss
know, right?
off. Let me be mad. Let
Get
me be
out of here,
mad.
man.
I
Or
know.
work
Leave me
out.
alone.
That's my
Your
go-to.
beard's very long right now. Look at this like bushy
Ah,
beard you have going on. That's like a thick beard.
oh wait. my beard was super long. It was like up to here when I got out. Yeah, I swear, it felt like I had a bunch of pubes in my in my mouth. Like man, like eating, even it was so hard eating too. I'm like, man, I was
Oh
just
my
getting
God,
so
of
much beard.
course.
Oh my God. But at the end of the day, after everything that I've been through, and the stories that I haven't told you yet and haven't told the world yet, everything that I went through that led me to where I am now.
Yeah.
I do want to write my book one day and becoming the greatest lucha of
Good
all
Lord.
time. It's the greatest fight. It's the greatest fight of a lifetime. Because my story that I've told to some people so far, they keep telling me that the same thing. Like you should write that. I'm like, wow, you have such a story that like nobody knows. I mean, yeah, I'm like I've only told certain little bits of what I've been through that led me
Yeah.
here, but they don't know like the whole details of what I
Have
went
you
through.
been writing it? Have you been like putting pen to paper or typing it out or
Um,
anything?
Here and there, I like bullet points
Yeah.
so I can remember what to write about.
Yeah.
I do have bullet points, but I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of seeing my life as it goes to see my end goal because I do have a goal in mind,
What's
and
that? Can you say what it is?
ooh, I do, but I'd rather show it
Okay.
because
Okay.
if I show it, it's more bittersweet, and
Okay.
I'm gonna work my ass off to get there.
Okay.
And once I get there, I think people will know why. People will know, but
Well, I'm
it's a
excited to see what it is. Whenever it gets revealed to the world, we'll
you
get to
know,
see what it is.
again, never say never, and I'm working my ass off. Besides my health, working my ass off to get more out there. And again, I feel like I'm alive again, and it's a second chance in life. So uh, I'd rather show it to the world because I am lucha, and I'm gonna fight to get there.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Manny, I really appreciate you jumping on here with me again. I'm just so happy that things are going well for you and that you're feeling good.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I love your show. It's awesome. I've
Thank
always been
you.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and let
I'm
me
so
know.
happy I got to have you on here.
Thank you so much, and I'll send you some CBD too for the pain.
Please.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
Please. Get me
please.
through these flights.
I will. I will. Thank
Help
you.
me out. All right. Well, hey, hopefully I will see you
Yeah,
sometime down the line. I would love that.
I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Manny.